welcome back everybody to my 7th episode now of the College Conservative. I know it's been a few days since I've posted. I was out of state, now I'm back. Just trying to enjoy my summer. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about Israeli settlements, UN resolutions, really just about terror and about Israel and really about the world stage and how it affects both of them. And this sprouts off of crap that my teacher said. So in my international law class last semester, we were talking about Israeli settlements and how the world the world actors think that the Israeli settlements are illegal, and there's a whole fight between and within the UN. Israel usually loses. Most UN resolutions go against Israel. Dozens, and in fact in 2016, most UN resolutions, there were dozens of UN resolutions against Israel. Overwhelmingly, most resolutions were against Israel. And that's really been the common trend ever since Israel's inception. Anyway, so what my teacher said upon discussing these settlements, we got onto the topic of basically when Israel is attacked, and then when they attack back and when they shoot back, how innocent people are killed and how children are killed and how they, but not only that, more specifically of the targets, which would be hospitals, which would be schools and neighborhoods and whatever else. Well, my teacher, not saying this maliciously, but saying it in a condescending tone, which he would usually say it in, because that's what liberals do, I guess, or at least leftist professors do, I guess. Liberal professors. He was pro gun. He was from Oklahoma, so I don't know if I could call him completely leftist, but definitely on the left side of the spectrum, pretty deep in there. Anyways, so he discussed about the effects of Israel's retaliation when it gets bombed, because oh no, Israel wants to defend itself and actually punch a bad guy in the face, unlike Western civilization now, and unlike America has been for the last 8 years, unless you want to count up all his dronings, but those were a mess. Anyways, to stay on topic, so we were talking about that, and he was more focusing on the damage that was done to Palestinians, of course, and he seemed to sympathize with the Palestinians and agreed with the UN that Israeli settlements were illegal and that they were still private plots of land owned by Palestinians. But what you neglect to hear is that in other UN resolutions and past UN resolutions, and past acts, that Israel has the right to defend itself. And the reason why that Israel has not given back the West Bank is because that is all upper hill region, and that is a total weakness to Israel if they were to give that up. That would just be inviting the terrorists and Hamas and the Palestinian Authority to bomb them. Literally, that would be an easy access to just bomb them. Straight up bomb them. That would mean the end of a lot more Israeli lives, and maybe even the end for Israel itself, depending on how hard they were wanting to push it. I mean, obviously America's going to come and defend him. However, so I combated him, and I could tell the way it was going of how he kept kind of focusing on the damage that was done when Israel retaliate, and I would say, well, and I remember fighting back and saying, well, they have sent texts out. They've sent mass texts out, and they've made mass calls out, and they've dropped pamphlets saying, we're going to bomb this area in X amount of minutes, get out. But then what the Palestinians want to do, or at least what Hamas wants to do, is now tie a bunch of kids up to a fence, or make people stand in a hospital, or shoot. What they like to do, this is really popular of them, is to set up their rockets in the middle of schools, or in the middle or on top of a hospital. So now, of course, Israel has to bomb these places. And now you get the headline of Israel bombs hospital in Palestine, killing kids and whatever else. Or Israel bombs school in Palestine. Now little grammar kids are dead. Grammar school kids are dead. This is the kind of crap. And then people buy it, and the left buys it. And they don't go deeper, or they just don't care to. It's pure anti-Semitism. And you could really see this when it comes to all the resolutions in 2016 against it, and all the resolutions against UN ever since its inception. There's what other country really does that, unless they're just stupid? This is clearly Israel saying, hey, we don't want to kill innocent people, but you have to understand that we can't just take this crap and not fight back, because that's going to show that if it shows that we are reticent to fight back and attack back, then we are going to be destroyed. Then we're going to be seen as weak. Which is what happened to America for the last 8 years. America didn't do anything. Now you have this whole mess with Syria. And yes, we had our hands in it in the first place. I understand that. And I understand if you want to go after Iraq, okay, I get that. It's a power vacuum. But just because you make one mistake, or just because some mistakes are made in an overall victory, does not now give you the excuse to let more mistakes happen, or does not give you the excuse to let things just continue to be crappy. No, if you're gonna put your hand in the jar, America, then you gotta freaking make sure that you're keeping control of it. You keep control of everything else that's going on there, and you can't let a power vacuum like this happen. And what's really sad is that the world is focusing too much, and especially the UN's too. They're more focused on Israel than they are radical Islamic terror, than they are fighting radical Islamic terror. I mean, for example, the World Health Organization condemned Israel as the world's only. This is off of Fox News, by the way. The World Health Organization condemned Israel as the world's only violator of, quote, mental, physical, environmental health. The only one. Then continue. UN Women chastise Israel as the world's only violator of women's rights, making no mention of misogynistic practices in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, other societies oppressing women. Not only that, but we allowed, this is how crazy that the world is right now, people, that we allowed, or that Europe allowed, I guess I should say, the UN allowed for Saudi Arabia to be put onto the Women's Rights Council of the UN. What is that crap? These women can't even drive. They can't even drive, and they get some sort of education now, and now they're allowed to be on the Women's Rights Council? That is a joke. While we have women walking with PUSSY hats over here and saying how abortion is against women's rights and how it's somehow fascist. This is absolutely crazy. And this is the same teacher, by the way. And he wasn't, like I said before, he wasn't saying this maliciously, but he was saying it in the tone of, this is my bias. And you understand, you can tell when teachers do this because they say it condescendingly or in an authoritative manner, as in, I'm the teacher, I know more than you, period, and there's nothing you can say because of all the years of my study, which is just absolute crap. That's the position of authority, and that's crap. That's like me trying to tell you that abortion is wrong and using the Bible to defend it. I can't do that. I wouldn't do that. I need to be able to have secular arguments to debate secular arguments given by the left, because all they ever think is authoritarian and an authoritative in an authoritative manner. Excuse me. Anyways, so this all kind of connects to today, where you see the Manchester bombing, and then you see, I mean, it's Ramadan, so of course you're going to see tis the season to be Ramadan. Put on your helmets. So you see the Manchester bombing, and then you see the bridge incident a couple days ago with a bunch of people dead now, and then apparently there's an incident a few blocks away from there as well. And what a lot of people worried about is Islamophobia. They're worried about Islamophobia. Not even that. They're not even willing to say that Europe or the UK has been weak on vetting refugees, on vetting immigrants from countries that happen to be majority Muslim and happen to bring all the radicalism over, or most of the radicalism over. So, for example, on my Twitter is capital TCC 1776. I tweeted this out the other day, yesterday, excuse me. I said, "Tis Ramadan season, #London attacks. So long as Europe wants to continue letting PC be more important than truth and action, this will continue." Which is true. I'm talking about the ideology of radical Islamic terror and how the left and how Europe will not combat that. Now, some guy, which I won't include his name, he responds with #American gun death. So long as America wants to continue letting NRA be more important than truth and action, this will continue. That is one of the most stupid comparisons, and I call him out on it too, saying this has absolutely nothing to do with the NRA and gun deaths in America are due to those in heavily blue areas, by the way, and mostly registered Democrats, and those that are also repeat offenders. Not only that, but the NRA are the biggest advocates for gun safety. So that it's absolutely stupid. This man, I looked him up, is from the UK. What I'm trying to say is that those in Europe and in Britain, those on the left, they just don't want to see. They are so concerned of Islamophobia. They're so concerned of somebody else being offended that they can't just say, you know what, you're right. We don't want to So we don't want to segregate this whole group of people, but we do need to point out the problem. We do need to point out the problem of radical Islamic terror, and we need to fight that. We need to put harsher restrictions on it. Okay, that is how big empires fall. That is how Rome fell. Okay, now Rome didn't necessarily have the best culture to want to upkeep, but it still fell in that way, making way for the Franks to come in and rape and pillage and salt the earth and everything else. Because they lost their identity, is what it was. Now, America has the best identity in the world. I will stand by that forever. If you want to debate me on it, that's great. Fine. Good luck. However, and when it comes to culture, however, what are we to do when a whole segment of the world's population, and a pretty big segment, a pretty significant segment, isn't willing to combat Islam because they're afraid of making the religion look bad? Are you serious? Christianity is one of the most scrutinized religions right now, and the only one scrutinizing Islam is Christianity. But now we're the wackos. But now we have the phobias of whatever it may be, of course. And it's just absolutely stupid. So, so my teacher, although he wasn't saying it in the tone of how evil Israel was, though he had come down like that before in previous lectures, which I can discuss at a later time. I can get deeper into the Israeli settlements at a later time. But basically just the fact that he was focusing more on the damage and the targets of Israel rather than why Israel was attacking, rather than the measures that Israel took to save lives beforehand and to retard the loss of innocent lives beforehand, just goes to show where the mindset is. It goes to show that they just care about their own morality. And any other person's morality other than theirs is immoral. Now, obviously, I think there's evil. I'm not trying to say it. But what I'm trying to say is, just because their paradigm is different than mine, they now think mine is evil. I don't think they are necessarily evil. I just think they're wrong. But they don't think the same way towards me and a lot of conservatives. Anyways, folks, and just another segment of crap my teacher said, and I will have more material on that, maybe from my gender and globalization class. Maybe not. We'll see what happens next time. Thank you again, folks, for watching, and hope to see you again soon. My name is Wyatt, and I'm the College Conservative.